Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be sharing with you some of my favorite breakfast meal prep ideas that you can grab warm and go on those busy days. So make sure you like this video and subscribe to this channel for more videos like this. Okay guys, we are going to be starting off with one of my favorite things to make, which is my banana bread. Banana bread is one of those things I love to meal prep and keep in my freezer because it's really easy to just grab it, warm it and enjoy it on those busy mornings. And this, my banana bread, is something I sell over at my cake business, and it's definitely one of my customer favorites. So all I do is to mix all the wet ingredients in a bowl, and the wet ingredients are the eggs, the vegetable oil, milk, yogurt, and the sugar and vanilla extract. I mix everything together and then I sift in the dry ingredients, which is the flour and baking soda and salt. So after sifting in the flour, the baking powder and the salt, I go ahead to give it a good mix. So I decided to change my whisk because this one wasn't doing a good job in mixing. So I grabbed my bigger whisk and then I gave it a good whisk until it was smooth. And then I went ahead to mash my bananas. So these bananas don't look too good. They don't look appetizing at all, but trust me, this kind of overripe bananas are the best for banana bread. So I always have a stash of this in my freezer. Anytime I buy bananas and they begin to go brown like this, I just put it in my freezer for banana bread. So after mashing the bananas, add it into the batter and give it a good mix, and it's ready to portion into your baking tin. So today I'm going to be making muffins and one banana bread loaf. So I have lined the loaf tin and the muffin tins with liners. So I went ahead to portion the muffins, and then I also added the butter into the baking pan. So this batter would make 6 muffins and 1 large banana bread loaf, or 2 large banana bread loaves. So it's ready to bake like this, but I'm going to be adding some Biscoff cookies on top of my banana bread today because I just feel like enjoying this flavor today. But you can bake it plain, or you can add Oreos, you can add coconut flakes, or any toppings that you like. Bake in a 180 degrees Celsius preheated oven for 1 hour 20 minutes, or until a toothpick inserted in the middle comes out clean. Leave the banana bread to cool down for 5 minutes and then remove and transfer to a wire rack to cool completely. Once it's cooled, you can slice it into individual slices and then wrap it whole and enjoy anytime you want a quick breakfast. These muffins are usually the first to go because I display them on my counter and my family can just enjoy anytime they want. You can also freeze it and enjoy anytime as well. My preferred way to store my banana bread in the freezer is to slice it into individual portions and then wrap them separately, and then just put everything into a Ziploc bag so it will be easy to just grab and go. But on this very day, I was busy and I was short on time, so I just decided to freeze it like this. But later on in the video, I will show you how I slice the bread. The next breakfast meal prep idea I'll be sharing with you today are these Belgian waffles. These ones are also my favorite. I love to have a bag of this in my freezer because it's really easy to just grab it, throw it into a toaster, warm it, slather a knob of butter on it, and it's ready to enjoy. So what I do is to add all my ingredients into my stand mixer, starting with my milk, yeast, and I allow that to bubble and the yeast will proof. And then I add my eggs, flour, sugar, vanilla, and salt, and then I mix it on low speed until it forms a rough dough. Once the dough comes together into a ball like this, I now add my butter. So this is a brioche style dough where you add your butter into the dough like this, and then once you add the butter, mix it until it's smooth and shiny. For these Belgian waffles, you will need pearl sugar. Pearl sugar adds a touch of sweetness and adds crunch to the Belgian waffles. But pearl sugar is something that is not readily available where I am in my country. So I'm going to be showing you a hack how to make your own very easy pearl sugar, which is to break into tiny pieces cubed sugar. So I just transfer the cubed sugar into a Ziploc bag so I don't make a mess, and then I just heat it a little bit and break it into tiny pieces like this. So once the dough is mixed and it's shiny, it's beautiful and elastic, add the pearl sugar and mix it for about 2 to 3 seconds, and then remove from the mixer and shape into a ball and leave to proof for 1 hour. For me, I like to add extra pearl sugar on the top of the dough before I leave it to proof, because this extra one just goes a long way in making the Belgian waffles extra crispy. After 1 hour, the dough would have doubled in size. So next, I dust my countertop with a little bit of flour, and then I remove the dough and I shape it into a ball, pressing out all the air. Next is to divide the dough into smaller pieces, and to get an accurate measurement, I'll be using my measuring scale. I divide the dough into 80-gram pieces, and then I preheat my waffle maker. Once it's preheated, I go ahead to add the dough into the waffle maker and cook this until it's brown to my liking. This is now my go-to waffles recipe because the pearl sugar in the middle of the waffles just creates this lovely crunch, and even with the sugar, it's not too sweet, which makes it perfect for me for my breakfast. It's really, really delicious. As you can see, I couldn't even wait. I just had to enjoy a bite. So Once it cools down on a wire rack like this, I transfer into a Ziploc bag and it's ready for the freezer. The third recipe is this breakfast wraps, and this one is just wholesome and just delicious. You can add any filling inside that you want. For today, I'm using chicken which I've already cooked. So I seasoned the chicken with chicken seasoning, paprika, some thyme, and then I sauteed it. And for the vegetables, I'm using cabbage, carrot, spring onions, and for the other condiments, I'm using cream cheese, some mozzarella cheese, ketchup, and this salsa that I had in my fridge and just decided to use it up. So it comes together really fast. So I chopped the chicken into smaller bite-sized pieces. All you do is to mix everything together in a bowl and season to your liking. Once you mix everything together and you like the way it tastes, and portion it into your flatbread and just wrap it up. So here I have a few tips on how to make these breakfast wraps so it will last long in your freezer, and when you bring it out to warm it, it will still taste really good. So I recommend using vegetables that do not have too much liquid in it. So veggies like cucumber will not work because eventually it's going to leach out moisture and make your flatbread soggy. So try and stick to vegetables that will not leach out too much liquid. The next tip is to keep this in the freezer and not your fridge, and then when you want to warm it, you don't need to thaw it out. Just bring it out from the freezer and pop it into your oven or microwave and warm it. If you keep it in the fridge, eventually your bread will become soggy, and we don't want that. It's not going to taste nice. After portioning the filling into the flatbread, wrap it up really tight and snug, and it will be ready for the freezer. I will recommend that you wrap up each of the breakfast wraps with cling film. I didn't do that, but I recommend that you do it. Wrap it up individually with cling film before transferring into the Ziploc bag. When I want to eat this, I like to add some mozzarella cheese on top of the breakfast wraps, and then I pop it into the oven under the broiler, and the cheese becomes brown and melty and the insides warm a bit. So delicious. I saw one other YouTuber that I follow at Acres Homestead meal prep French toast, and I was like, this is a fantastic idea. I tried it and it came out really delicious. So I'm starting off with slicing my bread. I like to use this unsliced bread because I can slice it to the thickness that I like, but feel free to use any kind of bread that you want. I will even try this recipe with croissant and see how it does, because croissant and French toast are just made for each other. Next is to make the custard, which is just simple eggs, milk, honey to sweeten, and vanilla extract. Heat up your pan and then add some butter or oil, and then just go ahead to dip your bread into the custard and fry it until both sides are golden brown. This French toast is just a great way to use up any stale leftover bread that you have, because the custard makes the bread moist again, and even after you've meal prepped it and kept it in the freezer, once you pop it into your toaster, the bread just becomes moist and soft and fluffy again. So like the other previous recipes, you leave the French toast to cool down on a wire rack and then transfer into a Ziploc bag, and it's ready for the freezer. This one didn't even last long in my freezer because you just have everything that you need for breakfast in one bread. You have your eggs, you have your milk. My husband just grabs one and is just out of the door ready for work. Okay guys, thank you so much for joining me here today, and I hope you enjoy all these recipes. These have made my life really easy because I don't have to think about what to make for breakfast, especially on those days when I'm busy. We just go into the freezer, grab something, warm it, and we are good to go. And even sometimes for lunch or even for evening snacks, I find myself reaching for one of these. The other day, I tried adding butter on top of my warmed banana bread, and it was just so delicious. Okay guys, please tell me in the comments which of these is your favorite and which one you would love to try. Thank you so much. Make sure to subscribe and give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it, and I will see you in the next one. Bye guys.